what's up guys, it's Goblin here, welcome to this new episode. In today's video, we're gonna do something a little bit different than usual because this weekend I was competing in Clash Royale. I did not compete for quite a long time, I didn't practice for quite a while, but I got invited to this really stacked tournament. As you guys can see, Goriko, Mohammed Light, Riley, Pedro, Tam, Morten and Lucas. Just to quickly explain the format to you guys, first there was a team format where my team was Goriko, Mohammed and Riley. We ended up facing Pedro, Tam, Morten, Lucas. The winner went to the upper bracket, the losing team went to the lower bracket, so we went to the upper bracket. And in this case, the first round, I ended up facing Riley, so we're gonna start off by watching the Riley matches. Okay guys, so the first match is gonna start right now against Riley. As you guys can see here, I'm on, like below, as you guys can see, that was like yesterday when I was playing, and then Riley on the top right of your screen. So honestly, this match is super important. I don't know if you guys paid close attention to the bracket, but basically 4 players in the upper bracket and then 4 players in the loser bracket means that whoever wins the first match in the upper bracket already secures a top 3 in the tournament. Like, it advances right away into the finals of the winner bracket, and of course if you lose the finals of the winner bracket, then you end up advancing to the finals of the loser bracket. So this match was super important. Honestly, I was kind of nervous, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I didn't practice for quite a while. Riley, one of the best competitive players, or one of the best players in general in the entire game right now. He's qualified for the World Finals. I knew that it was not gonna be easy. So my main kind of thought process here, my main idea was to play comfort decks. Honestly, I was just like, okay, I think my best bet would be playing my best decks. I of course was kind of afraid of getting sniped. Honestly, this matchup we ended up getting in game number 1 is really good, even though we only have arrows as a spell and he does have the evil wizard. I would say that this matchup is very good for us, mainly because of the defense we have. Cannon card is super annoying for Riley. We have guards, which I didn't show yet, and then the last card, arrows, doesn't really help that much, but sometimes is kind of nice, I guess, against the guards to take out the wizard shield and stuff like that. So mainly here, just trying to kind of get information in single elixir. As you can see, just cycling mortars offensively, trying to create some pressure. This mortar, not sure if it was the best offensive mortar because he does have monk and cycle, but as I said, I was kind of nervous. I'm not gonna lie that this match definitely had a lot of pressure, especially also knowing that if I win it, I directly advance to top 3. So as you guys can see here, he does end up defending very well the evil mortar. In the meantime, I go with an ice wizard, I go with a skeleton king here to try and take care of his evolved wizard, and then here I think I was just trying to force out a lot of elixir defensively and not really allowing Riley to go offensively, because myself, I have also played quite a lot with Royal Giant decks, and I think it's very important to always just continue pushing. As you guys can see here, for example, he cycles the wizard, I go with mortar, I go with evil bats, we force out fireball. He doesn't really have much elixir right now to support the Royal Giant, so I go with guards, I go with ice wizard, and as you guys can see, I just constantly apply pressure, constantly try to be as annoying as possible. Here the arrows get quite a lot of value because they take care of the guards. They damage the fisherman, and I also end up going with my skeleton king ability, which is a very good play because as you guys can see, Riley doesn't have that much elixir, and I kind of got lucky. I'm not gonna lie, the skeleton king walked towards the right side lane, and that ended up getting so much damage. And as you guys can see, Riley is already very upset about it. He's not happy at all. As you guys can see, he even knocks his head on the top right of your screen. And honestly, I was so focused, guys. Like, if you pay attention to my webcam here, I was not even moving. I was just like 100% focused, trying to play as good as I can. And then here I continue pushing. As you guys can see, I go with the evil mortar, I go with arrows offensively. Mortar is unfortunately locked onto the monk. I think here I make a small misplay because I try to kind of over protect, I guess is the word, the evil mortar. But I guess it's fine because in the end we still end up forcing a little bit of more elixir. And then here Riley ends up cycling the fisherman again. So if you guys are noticing, there's 1 minute and 25 seconds left in overtime, and Riley so far hasn't really been able to go offensively. Here I do end up making another mistake. I'm telling you guys, I was kind of nervous, giving him an amazing fireball value, hitting the tower, ice wizard and the mortar at the same time. So definitely misplay by me, but we do end up making a nice play here, distracting the wizard, going with bats then on top as soon as the wizard starts shooting the skeleton king. And those evil bats, ice wizard, cannon card, just look at the defense we have. Also the cannoneer, I feel like cannoneer right now might not be the best tower troop, but I was like, okay, I think Riley is not gonna go with like a psycho deck because I know that one of his favorite decks is lockbait psycho decks. I thought that he could have maybe expected some kind of psycho snipe, and that is, I think, why he also went with Royal Giant. I think maybe Royal Giant to counter, for example, a Mega Knight deck, or maybe some kind of anti-snipe deck. So as you guys can see here, just continue pressuring, forcing out Royal Giants defensively. There's 30 seconds left in the match. At this point, I was like, okay, I just need to keep under pressure. If I continue doing so, I'm not gonna allow Riley to go offensively. As you guys can see here, Wizard defensively, he does go with a Monk, but I have the guards, I have the Kenny card. Honestly, perfect matchup for me. Even though on paper, maybe if you guys look at the matchup, like if you see, for example, the Wizard, if you see the Monk, the Fireball, the Barbell, you might think, okay, this is not an easy matchup. But honestly, this was a very good matchup for me. I also think I played it pretty well. So that was game number 1. Nice W. See you guys soon with game number 2. Okay guys, so starting game number 2, of course I forgot to tell you, but this is dual format, so you cannot repeat any of the 8 cards you used, and the same rule, yeah, for your opponent. So basically, for example, in game number 1, I used Mortar, I used Miner, Arrows, I cannot repeat it in either game number 2 or game number 3. So as you guys can see here, I go with Lockbait, which is one of my favorite cards. I think you guys already know. If you guys watch consistently my YouTube channel, you know I'm a big Lockbait fan. And I think it was a pretty good moment here because I was like, okay, Riley just used a deck which is decent against Lockbait. But most importantly, is he really gonna use his Psycho deck right now? Or is he gonna keep it for a potential game number 3? In my head, he was gonna keep it for game number 3. And that is exactly what happened. As you guys can see here, he goes with Rambar deck. I was expecting it to be P.E.K.K.A. I don't remember if it was P.E.K.K.A. I think it was Mega Knight. I was thinking about a P.E.K.K.A. deck, but I believe, if I'm not wrong, it's gonna be a Mega Knight Evolution deck. And we have a very quick Lockbait Cycle deck without a big spell. So honestly, this matchup, I would say, is pretty good for us. But Riley played it amazing. Just watch it until the end. This was such a close and such an intense match. I don't want to say I was shaking, but I was just, yeah, that was one of the craziest matches I've played in a very long time. So as you guys can see, Riley is using the new champion Goblinstein. I decided to not use it here because since I got a game number 1 win, and it is dual format, Goblinstein is probably the best champion in the game right now. I was like, okay, I think I should keep the Goblinstein for a potential game number 3 in case I lose this match. I think he might use Goblinstein right now, so that's also why I used Evil Valkyrie, and that's also why I used the Bomb Tower, because in my opinion, Evil Valkyrie and the Bomb Tower are pretty solid cards, pretty, solid counters against the Goblinstein. So as you guys can see here, I go with Goblin Gang, I go with the Ice Spirit on top of the Ram Rider. So far, I'm just trying to chip away as much as possible. And here he goes with the Mega Knight. So I was like, oh, okay, it's gonna be Mega Knight. I don't know if it's better for us, the Mega Knight, or the P.E.K.K.A. I guess Mega Knight is a little bit more annoying to deal with, but we should be, fine here. I was like, okay, he doesn't have a lock, so that's gonna be amazing for us. He does have the Evil Bomber, so we need to be very careful with the Evil Bomber. And honestly, in my opinion, this was a pretty good matchup. And Riley still played it amazingly. Like, you guys just watch this match and you guys will see how good Riley played this match. So in the meantime, I do kind of end up missing my Bomb Tower. I should have used my Bomb Tower one more tail to the left side. He ends up going with the Lightning. Luckily for us, he does not catch the Valkyrie, but he still gets a huge connection with the Ram Rider and the Evil Bomber. Getting one shot on the left side tower also, hurts quite a bit. In the meantime, I go with a Goblin Barrel plus Ice Spirit combination, which ends up freezing both the Ghost and the tower. And that allows us to get back into the damage lead. But the thing I was kind of worried about here, I do not have a big spell. If you guys notice, I only have a lock. He has a lightning, so I was like, okay, I need to continue pressuring. I need to try and get as much value as possible. Here, once again, making a misplay. I don't know why I go with the Goblin Barrel like that. If I know that he was Bomber, I'm telling you guys, I was kind of nervous. I'm not gonna lie, I was definitely feeling the pressure right here, especially since this is the upper bracket. And as I said before, if we win this match, we end up securing us a top 3 finish. Like, just with that, I was already gonna be so happy. In the meantime, Riley ends up pressuring so much, as you guys can see. Goblinstein on the left side, Ram Rider coming down as well. Barely any elixir, but if you guys notice, in the meantime, Dart Goblin plus the Evil Valkyrie on the right side, getting a ton of damage, and we end up winning the trade there. I was not even sure what happened there. I was way too focused on the left side tower, trying to defend it as much as possible, and in the meantime, I noticed, wait, what? I got so much damage on the right side, so I sent the Goblin Barrel there. In the meantime, trying to defend the Ghost as much as possible. But we unfortunately do not have a big spell. I do not have a Rocket. I do not have a Fireball. I don't have anything to take down the right side tower. So here, I'm forced to, either take it with like Princess damage, Goblin Barrel connection, something like that. But of course, Riley was not gonna let it happen that easily. As you guys can see, Evil Bomber perfectly timed, perfectly placed by Riley. Able to defend the Goblin Barrel without taking any damage. Here he gets a really nice ability from the Dr. Stein. And then in the meantime, I try to continue pressuring. I go with the Goblin Barrel towards the left and the right side. I probably should have used the normal barrel on the right side. I think that was a kind of a mistake here. And then I get a ton of damage on the left side. But once again, I do not have a big spell, guys. I don't have a way of taking the tower, even though I leave it at 200, 300 HP. It doesn't matter. And in the meantime, Riley is defending this so well. 28 seconds left. I'm trying to keep up the pressure as much as possible, but Riley is also pressuring right now, as you guys can see with the Goblin Stein. I go in for a Goblin Barrel, I go in for a Bomb Tower, Riley ends up going with a Rage, plus the Ram Rider to defend it perfectly. And here, I think in the end I made a small mistake, if I'm not wrong. I sent the normal bell to the right side, I should have sent the normal bell to the left side. But in the end, we still end up defending the Ram Rider. He has 4 elixir. I was like, is he gonna get enough elixir for the lightning? I'm trying to lightning block, but he didn't even have enough elixir for the lightning, so we do end up securing the victory against Riley. Okay guys, the next matches we're gonna watch, just to give you guys a quick update on how the bracket went. I'm this time on the right of your screen, and Mohamed Light is below me. So this is the finals of the tournament, guys. After beating Riley, I ended up facing Mohamed Light in the finals of the winner bracket. I lost, then I went to the finals of the loser bracket. I managed to beat Goriko, and then here once again I'm up against Mohamed, so this is already gonna be the finals, and I've already lost game number 1, so I'm down 0-1 right now. We're gonna watch the last few matches from the finals against Mohamed Light. Mohamed Light, man, I don't even know what to say about him. It's an amazing player, and it's actually incredible because in my opinion, when facing Mohamed Light, there are some situations, like some matchups, some plays he makes, that it's almost like impossible to, like, you just kind of feel like you can't do anything. I haven't really experienced that against any other player, but facing Mohamed Light, there's just some things or some situations or some, yeah, like the ways he plays, it's just like there's nothing you can do. It's actually so frustrating sometimes, but it's also definitely something really yeah, cool. And I definitely respect Mohamed a ton. So as you guys can see here on the top of your screen, which in this case is me, I'm playing with this Royal Giant quick cycle deck. Not that quick of a cycle actually, because we do have the Goblin Stein, we do have the Phoenix, and then Mohamed Light here is using this Mortar Arrows deck. In game number 1, I believe he used the cycle deck with Hawk Rider and Log. I knew that Mohamed Light knows that I like Logbait, so in my opinion here, Logbait was gonna be very predictable. I tried to kind of catch him off guard by going with this Royal Giant deck with the Goblin Stein. And honestly, Goblin Stein plus Royal Giant is an amazing deck. You guys are gonna see it right now. Right here, he doesn't have that much elixir. He has 5 elixir right now. I have the Goblin Stein still alive. I go with the ability, which ends up hitting the Monk, ends up killing the Mortar, ends up killing the what's it called? The Bomber. Here I tried to go with a lock prediction for the guards. Mohamed Light, of course, is not gonna let me predict him. Mohamed is one of the most unpredictable players in the game, I would say. And then we do end up getting a ton of damage, a huge connection on the right side tower already. 480 HP left on Mohamed's tower, and at this point I was like, okay, all I need to do is make sure that I, yeah, secure defense, because he didn't touch my tower yet. So here I believe I just go, exactly, I just go with a Royal Giant in the face of the Evil Mortar. He does go with his guards, but we have the lock available, we have the E-Spirit to take care of the guards right away, and I'm gonna go Fisherman to pull away the Monk, yeah, just to make sure that the Monk afterwards is gonna get taken care of quite easily. So Mohamed Light does go with a Bomber here on top of the Royal Giant, but at this point I don't really think he cares about the left side lane. I think he's just trying to cycle something towards the left side lane, like our left side tower. So in the meantime, I go with a Phoenix, I go with a Lock, I go with an E-Spirit. Perfect defense right there, activating the King Tower. Very, very nice sequence. And in the meantime, I continue pressuring on the right side tower with the Evil Royal Giant, with the Goblin Stein plus the ability. Goblin Stein ability is able to make it to the tower. 305 HP, Royal Giant ends up taking the tower, but even if it didn't, I think the Bomber there would have been able to take it. So at this point, it's 1-1 in the finals. Okay guys, so hopping into the last match of the finals, honestly, at this point, just making it here already in the finals, facing Mohamed Light twice in the same day, in the winner bracket finals, and then also in the finals of the entire tournament. Honestly, I did never expect it. Like, I was already super happy about the results, about the current yeah, tournament, like how I did. Honestly, going into the tournament, I was not expecting to even get far. As I said before in the beginning of the video, I didn't really practice, I didn't really prepare at all for this tournament. And then yeah, getting into the tournament, beating Riley, beating Guriko, and facing Mohamed Light twice was already, yeah, something amazing for me. So as you guys can see here on the top of your screen, I tried to kind of predict Mohamed. I knew that he was potentially gonna snipe Logbait once again, so I tried to play Logbait, but a different type of version. In this case, as you guys can see, I have more of a heavy deck, which ended up working out really not good for me, because Mohamed Light has a quick cycle with the Archer Queen, with the Electro Spirit, with the Goblin Barrel. I was expecting him to go with Goblin Drill Tornado. It is a deck which was seen in this tournament before, so that is exactly why I have Skeleton King to counter the Goblin Drill. I have Mega Knight, and I also run Lightning in this deck, which you guys might think, okay, Lightning is gonna be amazing, right? Because he has Archer Queen, he has, I believe it's Tesla if I'm not wrong. I think he has normal Tesla and Snowball. Yeah, it's Snowball and normal Tesla as the last cards. But honestly, Mohamed Light was pressuring so well. He was always keeping out the pressure. not really allowing me to yeah, get the what's it called, get the lightning down and getting value out of it. Like, he didn't really allow me to do that until like the last, I think it was like last minute of the match. So let's in the meantime focus here. As you guys can see, Mohamed Light, perfect gameplay so far. The Electro Spirit there, I was like, okay, I can activate the King Tower with it, but then he went with Princess at the bridge, forcing out a response. And then of course the Princess still gets a bit of damage, but also the Electro Spirit is not or he's not allowing me to activate the King Tower. So in the meantime, I prepare the Goblin Gang. He goes with a Princess, I go with my Skeleton King, and so far all I'm doing really is playing defense. Here I think it's the first time I go with Goblin Barrel. Well, I think I went with one Goblin Barrel before offensively, but if you guys notice, I'm not really getting any damage, and Mohamed Light is just constantly pressuring, constantly applying so much pressure. I end up losing my Dart Goblin. I end up having to force the Goblin Barrel. Here he goes with the Goblin Barrel, normal Goblin Barrel to the left side. And once again, my cycle is kind of awkward. I have Mega Knight, I have Skeleton King, I do have a Lightning, but I was like, should I Lightning here? I think it's better to keep the Elixir, cycle something from the back, and then try to get a good Mega Knight going. So here I go with a Dart Goblin, I go with a Mega Knight, which does end up getting a lot of value, but honestly, it's still not really gonna get anything. As you guys can see here, he cycles back to the Evil Valkyrie. I do get a Goblin Barrel connection from the goblins on the left side, but it's barely any damage. The tower still has 2500 HP. I go with bets. I get predicted with the E-Spirit. I don't think I have arrows in cycle here, so I'm forced to go with a Goblin Gang. In the meantime, Mohamed Light does end up getting more chip damage. Once again, Princess being annoying, getting so much value, and at this point, in my head, I was like, man, what am I even supposed to do right here? I think this was a small mistake from Mohamed. I'm not sure if he was expecting a Goblin Gang or bets, but he went with a Goblin Gang to protect the Princess, but we went with a Skeleton King, which in this case ended up getting a little bit more value. And as I said before, my last card is Lightning. I didn't even show it in the entire match. I think this is the first moment, so in overtime, 1 minute and 20 seconds left is the first time where I can kind of use it, but it didn't really end up mattering that much. As you guys can see, Mohamed Light isn't even surprised by it. Like, sometimes on player camps, when you use, for example, I don't know, let's say a Lightning, let's say a specific card, people are like, wait, what? Is he, like, was he saving Lightning all the time? I don't know if Mohamed Light was expecting a Lightning, but yeah, as you guys can see, there's not even a single emotion on his face, and at this point, he's just dominating the match left and right. Two Princesses on the field, left side barrel is getting a good connection. I end up going with my Mega Knight. Princesses in the meantime are connecting to the right side tower. I go with bets here. I go with Skeleton King. I'm trying to get something going, but honestly, it's just impossible to get the victory against Mohamed Light. He's, in my opinion, definitely the best player in the world. I am super happy about the result of the tournament. Honestly, finishing top 2 in the tournament was amazing for me, and I'm definitely really happy about getting to compete in Clash Royale again. So that's gonna be it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure to smack the like button. If not subscribed to the channel yet, feel free to subscribe, and I hope to see you guys in one of my next videos. Take care, guys.